some years ago, a certain Solideo Paulin was trying to get the truth out of Archbishop Capovilla, who had been at the side of Pope John the 23rd as his private secretary. He knew things, and in the end he pinned him down with this question. So there were 2 envelopes, and he succinctly answered, "Per l'appunto." That's it. So it was confirmation of what was already intuited from different sources. The envelope referred to in Paris Match, when permission was given to make a reportage within the precincts of the Vatican, including the papal apartments, when it came out that Sister Pasqualina, who was at the side of Pius XII, even when they were together at Munich, she was a housekeeper but also a great collaborator, an intelligent nun. When she pointed out to the journalist and photographer, in that, referring to the old chest, so venerable in the papal apartment, it has a name, Barberigo. In that is the 3rd secret of Fatima. It was, it would seem, the words that, as it was said in the report given to the press early in 1960, the words of the Virgin that would not be made known, probably ever. We know that Pope Paul, immediately after his entry into the papal apartment, wanted to know where it was, and that had to be discerned, and it was said that it was in that chest. We know also that John Paul II, immediately after his entry into the papal apartment, wanted to know where it was and read it. When it came to the assassination attempt of John Paul II, he wanted to get hold of, now, the full secret of Fatima. And what he was given was what he hadn't had access to. It was what was in the archives of the Holy Office. And that's what was made known in the year 2000. The vision, but the commentary was not. It was the part that Sister Lucia had a difficulty in writing, so terrible it was. There has been, it would seem, a great cover-up. The truth seems to be that an accord was made, that it was indirectly that the message would be made known, that is the words, and that's why we see both John Paul II and Benedict XVI, when they're at Fatima, insisting on reading chapters 8 to 13 of the Apocalypse. The hint is there. So, when we see that the envoy sent by the one who was to be so devoted to Fatima, the eventual Pius XII, came back, it was a Jesuit, and came with these words that logically he couldn't make known what the secret was, having talked at length with Lucia. He was able, however, to say this. It was in 2 parts. The first part contained or concerned the Holy Father, the Pope. The second was obviously to do with the faith, the crisis to come in the faith, which would explain why Pius XII was insisting on that danger and talking even about suicide to its own self in changing the liturgy and its faith. So this is what we have, and it's hinted at already by what we have in the fourth memoir, which the Vatican initially was reluctant to use. It was using the third memoir, but the fourth memoir of Sister Lucia has this bit with regard to the third secret. In Portugal, the dogma of the faith will always be preserved, etc. So that etc. obviously is the beginning of words. So the hints are there. And therefore, when we hear Benedict XVI saying to the ambassador of the Philippines that the message of Fatima and the message of Akita are the same, we can only see that what is not heard in Fatima is heard in Akita. And there we have the mention of bishops against bishops, cardinals against cardinals, and the disintegration of the faith, a warning. And we are the generation that has to witness it happening before our eyes. What is the remedy Our Lady gave? Devotion to her Immaculate Heart, and specifically the consecration of Russia to that Immaculate Heart. John Paul II wanted to do it. The exorcist, Father Gabriel Amort, was there organizing it, and he knew what was going on because of the accord already made between communists and Cardinal Tettamanzi in France, that there was not to be official condemnation of communism. If we hear no condemnation during the Second Vatican Council, where there were observers from the Orthodox world, we also see that there was a great reluctance to make an explicit mention of Russia because of the political implications. So it would seem that we're still awaiting that. And what would have happened had it been made explicit would have been something of the miracle seen in Portugal when the bishops did do that in 1931. They consecrated Portugal, with the Cardinal, Archbishop. They all did it with him, all the bishops, and the result was the miracle of Portugal. A great, amazing change. It was preserved from the Second World War, from involvement in the Spanish Civil War, and the faith was preserved, and a huge number of vocations were born. This then is what was meant to be the project of heaven, to protect the earth from further war and disaster. It will happen, but it will be late. Then a period of peace will follow. If Russia were converted, it would mean also to recognize the authority of Peter, and there would be healing between the East and the West on the level of the deepest sharing of faith. We need them, and they need us. The Church must breathe again with its two lungs. In the meantime, we can be faithful to the request of Our Lady of Fatima made quite clearly each time, each of the 6 apparitions contained it, daily recitation of the Rosary. She could have asked for daily Mass, but she didn't. It was because it's the one thing that everyone in the Church, from child to Pope, can do, anywhere and everywhere. A prayer which is both profound and simple, contemplative and adaptable to any situation. Let us do it with our heart and console the Immaculate Heart. Si sa adesso, a causa della conversazione tra Solideo Paolin e l'arcivescovo Capovilla, che era segretario privato personale del Papa Giovanni XXIII, che c'erano 2 buste. Alla fine della conversazione Solideo Paolin insiste: ci sono dunque 2 buste, e lui di rispondere: per l'appunto. Dunque ammetteva che le parole della Santa Vergine era nella busta che lui aveva visto e letto nell'appartamento privato del Papa, quel mobile che si chiamava Barberigo, vecchio e venerabile, con gli archivi personali e segreti del Papa nel suo appartamento. Papa Giovanni Paolo II l'ha letto, appena eletto Papa, anche Paolo VI. E quando dopo l'assassinio del Papa ha voluto vedere tutto il segreto, ha voluto avere accesso all'altra parte, la parte che fu fatta pubblica nell'anno 2000, la visione. Però le parole sono rimaste segrete e sembra che fu deciso dal Vaticano di fare una rivelazione indiretta del suo contenuto tramite le parole del Papa. E fu così che il Papa Giovanni Paolo II e anche il Papa Benedetto XVI hanno parlato con insistenza dell'importanza di leggere i capitoli 8 fino al 13 dell'Apocalisse, quando erano loro a Fatima, un accenno dunque ai disastri del mondo. E il fatto è che si intuisce che il contenuto delle parole riguardava la fede, perché ci ha detto stesso nei suoi scritti, ha scritto così: nel Portogallo il dogma della fede sarà sempre preservato, eccetera. Dunque questo eccetera facendo alle parole riguardando la fede. Il Benedetto XVI ha detto che il messaggio di Fatima, il messaggio di Akita nel Giappone sono essenzialmente lo stesso. E lì vediamo esplicitamente questa crisi di fede, cardinale contro cardinale, vescovo contro vescovo, eccetera. E dunque la Madonna ha voluto che si contrastasse Lucia al suo cuore immacolato come rimedio. Si aspetta ancora questo di maniera esplicita quando nel 1931 fu fatto nel Portogallo da tutti i vescovi portoghesi. Abbiamo visto nella storia la conversione di tutto il paese, preservazione contro le guerre della Spagna, del mondo stesso, e un fenomeno, un'esplosione di vocazioni religiose e sacerdotali. Questo fu dunque la visione del cielo e sarà fatto ma tardi. E quando Russia sarà convertita ci sarà anche riconciliazione tra queste due parti, praticamente la Chiesa orientale e Roma. Sarà una bellissima cosa da vedere, Occidente e l'Oriente, come ha voluto Dio stesso, una sola Chiesa sotto l'autorità di San Pietro, ma ognuno con il suo rito, ricco di santità e di antichità, venerabile e sempre la stessa fede, operante in modi diversi. Però per noi dobbiamo essere fedeli al messaggio di Fatima, ogni giorno il rosario ben detto, dei semplici, la sola cosa che la Madonna ha chiesto ogni volta, 6 volte dunque, il rosario quotidiano. Facciamolo con cuore, consolando la buona madre che piange per i suoi figli.
Il 13 maggio apparve Maria a 3 pastorelli in cova d'Iria. Ave, ave, ave Maria. Ave, ave, ave Maria. Splendente di luce veniva Maria, il volto suo bello un sole appariva. portava Maria, chiarita ai fedeli del cielo la via. Ave, Ave, Ave Maria. Ave, Ave, Ave.